Afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Kerry Ruff from Moving Your Energy Differently, where we help you move your personality energy and in ways that helps you increase your bottom line or bring in more income on a day-to-day level. So today, I am thrilled. I am so excited that we have a photographer and pet portrait artist with us to give us some ideas on how she takes what she does and uses her talents, her joys in this particular career and adds value to other people's lives, and at the same time increase her daily income. Today we have Barbara G. Marshall with us today.
Hello.
Hi, Barbara.
Hello, Kerry. It's great to talk with you.
It's great to see you. I'm so glad you could do this with us. Can you give us a little bit of your professional background and introduce yourself?
Well, first off, I want to say thank you. It's always great to talk with you, Kerry. Thank you so much for inviting me to your Wisdom Saturday. I've watched a couple of the videos online and have found them very informative. That's been great. My background, well, it's a little odd, but I'll run through it very quickly. Kerry and I went to high school together. I don't know if he was going to say that, but
no,
we did.
I wasn't going to say that.
He was much younger than me, of course. And right after high school, I went in the Air Force. And I ended up spending 6 years on active duty and 14 years in the reserve. Went into the corporate world, couple different spots in the corporate world, and then went to college, graduated from college. During college, I took a lot of art classes and photography classes, which I really loved, but I was encouraged to not try to get a degree in art or one of those, or photography or whatever. So my degree came out in sociology and anthropology, which basically did help me in a management role later on in my corporate career. Zoom past my corporate career. And when I retired, I just wasn't ready to sit down in the rocking chair and do that kind of thing, or do nothing, I guess. So I had always enjoyed art and photography, and so I picked it up as a retirement career, which is what I like to call it.
You just, I shouldn't say just started recently, but not too long ago, you started this career, which has taken off. I see you all over the internet and at all times. How did you
get started?
I know you started, you were interested, and this was your talent. This was what you were pretty good at. What made you think that you could get your paintings and your photography out there in which to bring in a little income along the way?
That's a really good question, Kerry, because there are so many people who are talented who don't think that they can make any money out of it. One of my careers was selling life insurance. And I did that for 3 years. And if you know anybody that sells life insurance, you first sell to your family and friends, and then you move beyond that. And it was the same with my pet portraits in particular. I either sold pet portraits to friends or did pet portraits for free for friends and family. That helped to hone my skills And also it helped to get the word out there. My mantra has always been, please don't keep me a secret. And it's worked. It's worked for me. So that was really where I started, with family and friends, and then friends of friends and friends of family. But that kind of keeps you in a very small community. And I realized if I was going to make any money at this, I had to expand that. There was the internet sitting there waiting for me as a tool for expansion.
Most people are afraid of the internet and social media and getting their products or services out there.
Oh, yeah.
Weren't you a little intimidated by the internet? And well, that's the first question. Weren't you a little?
Well, of course. I mean, it's like with any tool, you have to learn how to use it. And you can avoid it and choose not to use it, or you can say, hey, you know, worst thing that can happen is that I decide it's not going to work for me. I have about 3,800 friends on my Facebook page. And that has worked really well for me. I put pet portraits out there. I'll put a beginning portrait, and perhaps ask people, what background color do you think I should use for this portrait? Try to involve.
Excuse me, you do this on
Facebook.
Facebook? You put out and then ask your followers,
my friends.
You'll say, what background should I put on this? And you ask them, so they're involved in your work?
Yes, that works very well.
Oh,
people like to feel.
That's a tip, everyone.
Yeah.
That is a marketing tip.
Yeah. People like to feel involved in some way. With my website, I kind of do the same thing, Kerry. If I make a few changes to my website, I'll ask people, would they do me a favor, look at my website, give me feedback? You know, just because some of my friends locally or on the internet don't have a pet, aren't interested in a pet portrait, they may next week be talking to somebody that says, you know, I've been looking for somebody to paint Harvey, and I don't know anybody. And they may say, oh, you should look at Barbara Marshall's website. She's pretty good. Because I'm not the best pet portrait artist out there, Kerry.
That was my other question. as I've been looking at your two websites, one your pet portraits, and the other your photography. You know, I'm going, okay, let's be honest. There are a lot of people out there that do pet portraits.
Yes.
And what do you think draws people to your portraits?
I like you using the word drawing. That fit in nicely.
That's
Kerry,
right.
You know, I'm not shy. Maybe you've noticed that. And I think that's, you know, one of the reasons that so many good artists are not trying to use the websites or trying to use social media, is because they're shy, or they don't feel like their artwork is good enough. I mean, we're a needy bunch. I'll be honest with you, when I post a pet portrait that's completed on my Facebook page, I hold my breath waiting to see how many likes I'm going to get. I mean, I know I've done a good job, and my clients tell me that I've done a good job. But as with all art, there's always something you could have done a little differently, some way you could have done it a little bit better. And that's why you keep going to, you know, get better and better.
So there are I mean, there's 7 billion people in the world. That many have the internet and so forth, but more and more. So you're saying there are some people out there that are attracted to your art, and
Yes.
you just have to put it out there, whether you think it's good, bad, or in between. Just put it out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. You have to take the plunge. You have to just, say, okay, am I the best pet portrait or pastel artist? No. Am I better than some? Yeah. Am I actually, I think maybe I'm better than a lot. So why not do that? You don't need the world to love your artwork. You only need, well, I did 28 pet portraits last year, or the year before last. I did 19 last year, but it was a pandemic. So you just keep going, and with every portrait, it's just another opportunity to get better and better at the skill.
Let me see if I can share a portrait that I found that I just adored, and see if you can see it.
Oh yeah,
see?
I liked that one.
I adore this one. So, yeah. Now tell me a little bit about this one.
Okay, it came well, started out as a prospect, came to me and said they had a memorial. They had a dog that had died, and they needed a memorial portrait, and they had I only had 3 or 4 photos of the dog. It's amazing. Actually, I think they had more, but they weren't good photos at all. And would I try to do a pet portrait for them? And these people are in Virginia. And I said, sure. I said, but because I'm never going to have an opportunity to meet the dog, well, obviously the dog deceased, but I said, send me as many photos as you have. And I will see what I can do. And they sent me one that was kind of like this, and I was able to see the eyes very well, which is critical. And so I started it. I sent them a preliminary sketch for their approval. They said, yes, 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 that's absolutely him, and sent me half of the commission, and then I completed it. And they sent me the remaining commission, and I sent them the portrait.
Now, how do you start the? You do sketches first?
Yeah, I do a sketch first.
But also, let me ask you: is it because that you've had this painting and photography background, you're able to draw and paint and get things right? Can you just pick up a pen and paint, or you've been doing painting for years? Which is it?
Well, there's a little talent involved.
Little
Actually,
talent, big talent. I would need more than a little.
You would be the stick figure kind of thing. It is interesting. I didn't realize that I had talent actually for painting and drawing until after I retired, and I was visiting my parents in Florida, and my dad, who is a portrait artist, discovered after he retired. And he asked me, have you tried to do any painting or any sketching or anything? And I said, no. And so he said, well, let's do it together. So we began, and I discovered at that point that, I really could do this. Now he does people. I discovered that what I really loved was doing animals. And especially once I get the eyes of an animal in the painting, that's when it comes alive to me, and I'm able to complete it.
So you started by saying, okay, I've never painted before, um, but I love pets.
Oh yeah,
I
well,
love animals. So uh, that always reminds me to always coach people on doing what they do best, what they love the most, what they're excited about first. Focus
oh,
on.
absolutely.
So that seems like you're also a key for you, finding that saying, well, see, I love animals, not necessarily, so that's where I'm going to start.
Yes, yes, that's exactly right. I think everybody has talents. It's just a shame that some people never discover what those talents are.
Yeah.
I had to retire from the corporate world before I found that I had the time to devote to just trying to discover, can I actually do this? And would somebody actually pay me for a pet portrait? Can I actually go out and take photographs and make money by doing that?
Wait,
I
do you, yeah, do you take photographs? A friend of mine does that also. He takes
Yes.
photographs and then goes home and then paints them. Uh,
No, I haven't
photograph.
haven't done that.
Oh,
No,
do you
I'm
do you have your clients? Do your clients send you a photograph? Obviously, they have to. They send
yes.
you a photograph, and then you take that photograph and paint.
Yes, for my pet portraits, absolutely. Yeah, they have to send me as many photographs as they can, so that I can get I can get the coloring right. Because again, I have painted pet portraits for clients, and I wrote it all down. Clients in, oh my goodness, where? Um, well, anyway, all over the country. um, because of the internet. People that I've never met, pets that I will never meet. So I need for them to send me pictures of their pet outside, inside, up close, with a favorite toy, so that I can get an idea of personality, see the eyes well, and get the coloring correct.
Oh, I see. Personality. Gee whiz. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you um, do you work with one social media platform? Facebook? Do you do LinkedIn or TikTok, or do you do
No, I haven't done TikTok or Etsy. I haven't done those, but I do.
Instagram? Yeah, all those.
Yeah, Instagram and Facebook primarily, and then my websites.
Do you now a lot of my clients will always say, how much should I flood a day um, my Facebook page with my portraits or what I'm doing or what?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
that raises a good question. Yeah, that raises a really good question. It can't always be about me on Facebook. One of the other things that you have to understand is that you are a member of a community. My however many Facebook friends, um, they're doing things too. Some of them in the art world, some of them with rescuing pets, and other things. You have to take an active interest in those things as well. 4 or 5 times a year, I will donate a pet portrait to an auction for either a nonprofit that I believe in.
That
But it's a give and get. You have to give and get. You have to be interested in others' artwork, ask them for their recommendations, suggestions, feedback. You have to be willing to take it.
that's great. But is the theme on Facebook and Instagram is the theme pets, or do you put your family in there and and Christmas time and
Yeah.
time?
Well,
Do you
yeah.
mix it all up, or do you keep it with one theme?
Well, yeah. Do you want me to tell you what I do or what I think is right?
What you do?
What I do. Yeah, I mix it up. I do try to stay away from politics, but I do, mix it up. I put, my photography out there for feedback. I put pet portraits out there for feedback. I give, feedback a lot. I'll recommend other artists to people, and you have to join the community and be a part of the community.
But you stick to your pet portraits and photography. You don't put in a whole bunch of other things on the internet and social media, unless they have.
I will. I post pictures of my parents, and and I think that may help, Kerry, because that helps people to get to know me a little bit better. I mean, let's face it, the internet is a cold place. You don't, and that's why it's so odd that it's called Facebook friends, because these really aren't friends until you make them your friends.
Good. I'm sticking with that answer. I'm listening. At my listening skills are very good. So let me share a little bit of your photography, because I was quite surprised. Your photography different from your pet portraits. Your feeling. So
it's different.
So drastically different.
It's different, all right.
Yeah.
Here's one, Kerry. Let me show you this.
Whoa! Oh wow! Whoa.
I don't think you can. Can you see that? Yeah.
Now I can. Yes.
I mean, that's an example of my photography.
Wait, and that's a photo shot. A shot.
That's a photo. Yeah, that's a photo taken on the street.
What is that? What is that? That's your photography, because as I was looking through and studying you, I said, now that was taken on the street. What, you saw something and you?
That's correct. Yeah. About 12 years ago, I was on a walk and I looked down and I saw Snoopy and Woodstock in tar on the street. I mean, seriously, I did. So I ran home, got my camera, came back, and snapped a picture. And as I was snapping that picture, I remember saying to myself, if Woodstock is out here, what else is out here? And that really started what I call my tar art photography.
Tar art.
Tar art.
Tar meaning from
tar.
Tar?
That's tar on the street, yeah.
And it might look like a image of something that you have seen.
I have found dogs. I have found faces, people, interesting shapes, scenes, all kinds of things. I mean, if you look at chesterfieldtarart.com, you'll see all kinds of strange images that I've discovered. I mean, I love it when they're coming through to put new tar on the streets.
Yeah.
And I want them to be really sloppy, because the sloppier, the more opportunity there is for me to find interesting tar art to photograph. I know, it's odd. It's odd, I know.
But what can I say? It's a theme that I'm always telling clients, find the theme. Yes. And you found the theme.
I did. I found it has to somehow be unique. I mean, once digital cameras came out,
yes,
everybody was a photographer.
Yes.
But
there are photographers taking pictures of everything. Not photographers. They're just us,
People, sure.
people taking pictures of everything, family, you know,
Yes.
but no themes. I mean,
Yeah.
you have a tendency, which I think is probably works the best with a theme. And
Yeah.
you have that theme, and then you go out and look for tar and what it says to you,
Correct.
and what you see in it, tar. You don't
Yes.
then turn and take a picture of your husband and your family,
No, although,
and then put that out there.
well, I do, I
Not
also,
Yeah, go ahead.
I also do nature photography. And I do quite a bit of nature photography. You know, and one of the things is, you know, a photographer has an eye for being able to place things. And, you know, I think, you know, I discovered in college that I had a good eye for photography, but what I enjoy doing most is discovering tar art photos on the street, or interesting art photography. I do a lot of tree bark photography. In fact, I just sold tree bark photos to a dentist who wanted them in his waiting room, on the wall.
Would say I'm excited about it.
But you have to kind of specialize somehow. I mean, it's true. Yeah, I mean, it's true in almost every career, everything out there. You have to specialize somehow. It has to be different somehow in order to make it yours and to have it sell. So you have to differentiate somehow.
That's another tip. I'm so glad I'm interviewing you. That is another tip, and I hope people write that down. Especially, I call it a theme, and you say you have to specialize.
You have to.
I'm going to show the tar art. See you, little buddy.
Hi, puppy.
And which is, can I move this? Yes, here it is. Good. That I enjoyed.
Oh, yeah.
You see it?
Yeah.
Can you explain this one?
Yes, that was taken in Florida.
These are photographs.
They're photographs.
Okay.
That was taken in Florida. The white that you see it was taken in a parking lot, and the lines in the parking lot had been painted blue at one time, and then they had painted white over that at one time, and now the white was all chipping away. And what I discovered were these beautiful photos. I see a little, do you see the little fish in the one there on the right?
No.
Oh,
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
The blue fish.
The little blue fish, yeah.
Oh my heavens. With the little eye there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez, yes.
I mean, you know, many people take walks and they see things, but few people really look to see things. Do you know what I mean, Kerry? People don't really see things, they just look. Maybe that's a better way of putting it. You know, there is so much, especially in nature, out there to see if you look closely at things. And also, and you can see on the street, there is a lot to see if you look closely at things on the street.
These are hanging up.
Yes. Yeah, these were sold to a client, and they sent me the photo of where they hung it.
This is what I also like. Do I need to share this again? Because I like this picture because it's hanging. Are you going to come up? Yeah, this one. Because it was hanging in a home, which I thought was. Can I make this bigger? I don't know. Yes, I can. And that's also that's a a photo, correct?
Yes, yes. Actually, that's using a website called Art Rooms,
Art.
where you can take your artwork and place it on a wall and show it to a client on a wall so that they can kind of get more of a feeling about what it would look like in their home.
Art, A-R-T, room.
Art Rooms.
Rooms.
Artrooms.com.
.com.
I use it a lot when I'm showing a prospect my artwork. And that was a photo that was also taken in Florida at the Botanical Garden in Naples.
I see. In Naples.
Uh-huh.
Are you traveling first thing? Yeah.
Well, I was, yeah.
Yeah, we all were.
Pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where my family is now. Most of my family are in Florida, in Naples.
Florida. Okay. Fabulous. Now, ooh, am I back? Am I back? Okay. Now because I have a few more questions before I let you go.
Okay.
And what will you do differently this year with marketing your business? Now I want to get into a little bit of marketing, what you do and how you market. I know social media platforms are important to you. Facebook, and you said Instagram, LinkedIn, maybe?
A little bit, yes.
A little bit, but more Facebook and Instagram. What are you going to do anything differently this year, next year, the following year? But now with marketing your two specialties.
Where pet portraits are concerned, pet portraits, I hope to go back to what I had been doing pre-pandemic, and that was either just going out in the community, like going to a coffee shop and sitting there painting, or offering my services to come into like a pet spa and set up in a corner to paint for their customers, either during some kind of an event they were having, or just on a Saturday when I knew they would have a lot of customers coming in and out. It gives me an opportunity to get that feedback. I mean, every artist wants feedback, you know. So it gives me an opportunity to get that feedback that I need. So I hope to be able to do that maybe late summer, start that again, going back out into the public. I hope to try some other online things, like maybe Etsy, or some other things like that. I'm also planning to try to reach out more to specific groups. I have a few realtors who are clients who will ask me for a pet portrait for one of their customers after they have sold a house. I've done that many times. Either they send me pictures of their customers' pets, or I provide a gift certificate for their customer. So I'm hoping to expand that market. Also, I have a contractor. When he finishes a kitchen or a bathroom, if they have a pet, he asks me to do a pet portrait for his customer. So I'm hoping to expand that a little bit.
How do you connect with them?
Well, it starts with relationships, Kerry. It starts with relationships. I mean, think about, have you ever had a contractor in to work on your house?
Just recently, a plumber.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you just talk to them a little bit about what you do. yeah, again, you can't be shy, Kerry. You've got to, you got to be willing to share with what you do. When we moved into this house 8 years ago, there's a hall, and Dick said to me, "Why don't we put up your artwork in this hall?" And so we put up track lighting down the middle of the hall, and I put my artwork up in the hall. So when anyone visits, they walk down the hall and they see my artwork. Um, so yeah, I'm hoping to be able to just expand through existing relationships, expand through a more targeted audience on Facebook, looking for maybe realtor Facebook groups or things of that sort, and get into them offering maybe for auctions, offering a free pet portrait or something like that.
Do you publish? Fabulous. Do you publish your photography or your pet portraits and then put it on Amazon or any other, or Etsy? Do you in book form?
Oh, that could be a new goal for 2021, Kerry. Thank you. That could really be a new goal.
Wondering.
Yeah, you have to wait until you have enough really good work to be able to do something like that. And then you have to have some kind of a hook
Well, you've got the hook.
Oh, well, the pet portraits themselves can't be the hook, because I'm sure there are a lot of, books of pet portraits out there, but, perhaps poetry might be a hook, or, sayings, I don't know, but I'm gonna get working on that in 2021. Thank you.
And I don't want to keep you too long, because I know you have painting in which to do. But do your skill on the computer and so forth, do you have friends or family members who help you with getting your talents out there? Is there somebody that you call or can talk to about the internet and how to use it?
It's really pretty solitary. Dick isn't any help. He asks me for help. So that's definitely the blind leading the blind very often. No, I really don't, other than other real friends who are artists, and getting together with them. That is one of my goals next year, or this year, is to set up like once a month maybe, or every couple week Zoom with some of my artist friends to just share ideas, share information, and things like that.
You're planning on setting that up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as photography is concerned, I show my photography in a lot of galleries locally, especially. I mean, I have shown in Maryland, I have shown in Florida, but mostly it's local galleries, and in particular, generally it's my tar art photography that gets accepted into shows. Once the galleries start opening up again to having receptions for the shows, for the exhibits, I'll definitely be entering a lot of in a lot of those shows. Now with virtual, I mean, it's nice to be accepted into a national show with your photography, but it's, for me, one of the real kicks that I get out of it is standing behind people who are looking in a gallery at my artwork on the wall saying, "I don't know, what do you think it is?"
That's what you get a big kick out of.
I do.
Well, I don't know. What do you think it is?
What do you think it is? And yeah, I do. I so enjoy that. And then I'm able to say, hi, I'm the photographer. Do you have any questions? And then explain it to them. And it's so neat when the light bulb goes on and they say, oh yeah, I do see, it's a buffalo. I see that.
Barbara, what do you, for by moving your energy differently community, for people who would say, okay, I like something, I have a talent for something, I'm pretty good at this. What would you say to them, and that would help them with
Yes.
getting them to take action? What would you say?
Yeah, it's hard.
Position?
It's hard, Kerry. There are many people who feel that they have talent, but not enough talent or whatever. What I tell people is just don't say no to yourself. Put it out there. Be brave. Give it a try. The worst that can happen is that, maybe you'll only get 2 commissions instead of the 5 you were hoping for or whatever. But don't say no to yourself. Give it a try. Be brave.
Be brave. Give it a try. Be brave. Do you have there's financial services, or not financial services, but Venmo now and PayPal? Do you have those types of?
Oh, Venmo. I love Venmo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love Venmo because when I'm doing a pet portrait for someone, I do the preliminary sketch. I send that to them for their approval, and then I ask for half of the commission. Because again, I don't know these people most of the time. They're from the internet. I don't know who they are. So they Venmo me half of the commission, and then I can continue on rapidly with their portrait. If they don't have Venmo, I have them send me a check, and then I cash the check, and then I continue on. And it's a little bit, it's just slower without using the resources that we now have available, like Venmo.
Barbara, I can't thank you enough. I've taken up quite a bit of your time today, but I can't thank you enough for letting me talk with you today. It has been a joy. I wrote down some things I have to remember, especially specialize in something, which was something I went, oh, okay.
Yes.
I've been calling it a theme, but specialize in.
Yes. Well, Kerry, it took me a while to find my lipstick because, of course, nobody's using lipstick anymore. You can't see it behind the mask, but it was worth it. It was worth it to have an opportunity to talk with you and your audience. I truly, truly loved spending time with you this morning, and I hope to do it again sometime soon.
Same here. Thank you so very much, Barbara.
Thank you, Kerry.
G. Marshall. We'll have all the information below when we put this up on the internet.
Good.
YouTube or whatever. We'll put your information below so people may contact.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Kerry.
Thank you very, very much.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.